Hi, everyone. It's Rosie Gualiardo with InnerBrilliance Coaching. Hi, Katie.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Well, I want to introduce everyone to what we're doing today. This is the Be Perfectly You interview series, and it's part of my InnerBrilliance coaching program. And just to give you a little bit of background about me before we jump into the interview, I've been a certified life and career coach for 14 years. And previous to that, I was in marketing and advertising for 18 years. And I basically work with high achieving clients to help them get results while feeling happier every step of the way. So I wanted to welcome all of you to this series where we're going to meet with a variety of experts to help you basically have access to the success and happiness you know is possible for you in your life, in different areas of your life, including work and love and your home and your health and all those different, important things we focus on. So today we are meeting with Katie Rogers, who I've known for years, and I've loved actually leveraging her services. She's been an amazing partner in many ways. And so I was super excited to introduce her to all of you. So just so you know a little bit more about Katie before we jump in, I just thought I'd share a little bit about her background. She's a certified Feng Shui consultant and declutter expert, as well as a filmmaker, artist, and writer, and a Reiki master, and an arborist. I love that. I'm like, I know all of that, but maybe not that last part. So that's kind of fun. I think I knew that in the background because I do ask you about plant stuff. You happen to know a lot. I just figured it was based on your current work. But anyway, she offers on-site and distance consultations for homes and offices, and ongoing live and online workshops. And I have attended all of them because Katie and I do not live near each other, and it's all been, via Zoom, FaceTime, and whatnot. And it's still amazing, which I just always thought someone would have to be in your physical space, but not necessarily. So with that said, I'm going to just ask Katie, if you could just describe in a, couple minutes, what is it that you do exactly?
Okay, so like you said, and thank you for that intro. Yeah, I know some people are like, Katie, what do you not do? I'm like,
Right.
I was really interested in a lot of things along the way. So I just went for them and they all work together. But Feng Shui consulting is kind of the umbrella of what I do, which is to help people get their space in a way that supports them as they move forward in their life towards their goals or intentions. And the home is a reflection of your life and you. And if it's a powerful science and art that if you sometimes make some minor changes in your space can have a profound effect on your life, not just on, the functional level, but also the energetic level. So I love it. It's great.
I love it too, Katie. As you know, I feel like I'm always reaching out. Like I have a question or what's going on with this? And I think what's so important that you hit on, I talk to my clients a lot about their environment, right? Their space and how that can support their goals. And mine is maybe a little bit more surface level, or, when they're thinking about creating positive habits, I might say, if you want to meditate more, put maybe a beautiful pillow and candle near your bed where you can find a space where maybe you first wake up and you could go enjoy the space. Like it appeals to you, so it attracts you. And I know that I'm more likely to do something if the space invites me to do it, right? But so I'll make certain recommendations that way. But what I think you do, which is so profound, is you kind of get into that. It's such a hard thing for me to describe, like that energetic level, right? Like you start the way Katie talks to you, she helps you understand how your subconscious mind is working and how you can then set up your environment, your space to support your subconscious mind, which I always use the statistic, Katie, but tell me how it plays into what you do. But they say 96% of our behavior is influenced by our subconscious mind, where 4% of our behaviors is influenced by our conscious mind. So I'm like, we have to really use that 4% wisely.
Yeah.
To then,
I, you know, in my language, in the language of Feng Shui, and I was obsessed with the idea of the subconscious mind for years, and that's one of the reasons I got into this work. But the language that I now use is that it's our vibration, it's our frequency, it's our energy that we're tending to when we're talking about the subconscious mind. That we're, Feng Shui can help you bring it to the conscious level of what you might be vibrating that you might not be aware of, so that it might be blocking you from some things you're wanting in your life. And your home is almost like there's almost clues you put around the house or even your office to show you where you might be vibrating. And I guess the best thing to do right now is just to give a little example. So, my favorite examples are when a single woman comes to me and, I look around the home and there are so many things that symbolize someone being single. I mean, the most obvious would be artwork of single women. And I'm like, okay, get some pairs. That is symbolic for a couple, 2 nightstands. So those are some like my quick and dirty example,
No, that's great. And I love how you talked about, getting you a different vibrational level, right? Because we know when we're in that higher vibration, we're going to attract more of what we desire. And I talk to my clients a lot about, like, what I do is I call it marketing 101. We help them get clear on what they want, be consistent, and put it out in a compelling way. And I shifted the way I showed up in my life because I think I used to kind of over-engineer my life and try to force outcomes, whereas now I'm more focused on who do I want to be? How do I show up in the world? And then I start to attract people and situations and opportunities that align with my deepest desires. And it's so much easier than trying to force something.
Oh my God. The other way doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. I've tried, trust me.
But we've all been there.
Right. And I loved your examples because, Katie, I know when I got 2 nightstands, little things when you've done consultations with me, it's like, oh, yes, it seems like, well, of course. And even just the way I placed things, I thought it looked cool a certain way, like, try this. And I did feel a shift in my energy. So I appreciate that. Now, I know this may seem like a basic question, but I'm just going to ask, since I work with a lot of high achievers, and I know you do too, because I think if they're coming to you, they always have that mindset of like another goal. What would you say, how do you feel like your approach helps high achievers?
Well, if we're talking goal-oriented goals.
Yes, those kind.
Okay. There are, in Feng Shui, you set intentions, and it's almost like prayer in 3D. So you start by, it's called a cure in Feng Shui. So if there was something you want to achieve in a certain area of your life, you would do something to represent that in your home. Now, as far as the functional aspect, if I liked your idea of meditation, actually, because you're saying, oh, it's just a simple, easy thing. That's actually profound, to set aside a space in your home for meditation to invite you in. I use this with a lot of things. If somebody wants to paint more and, start selling art as an artist, but there's nothing inviting about the space that they have for creating art, then that's a big deal. Like, you don't want something to block you that early in the game. And that's a pretty easy fix, like figure out how you want to operate in the space. And that's going to be representative of how you're operating out of the space in the world. So
right. I love that. Yeah. And I love how you talked about setting an intention. I do a lot of that with clients, and I know it's like then the follow through has to happen and I think the environment helps you, right? Again, keep you at that energy level. So thank you for sharing that. So if you're new to this, right, or maybe you have been doing it, like I say I dabble, poor Katie. I'm like, I read this book, or I'm online reading this article.
I love people are reading. They just there's going to be sometimes things that are like, wait, I read that here, but then that there.
Right.
So there's a lot of intuition involved.
Right. So, and I just appreciate being able to like, okay, now I got to figure out what that really means. So, if you were to talking to someone who's pretty new to this, and what 3 steps could someone take to just get started, or even like I said, if they're not totally new to it, but are have an awareness around it, what could they be doing?
Okay, well, decluttering is the most obvious step to me. And you don't have to declutter first with feng shui. If you want, some energy to move somehow, you can put some feng shui cures around
Mhm.
your home and do some minor things to get some energy moving. Sometimes that's what you need to do in order to get to the decluttering, to get the energy to declutter. But decluttering, go follow Marie Kondo, do that whole jam.
Mhm.
That's the number one. The number two one I would say is to really look at your home with different eyes. Like I like to say, I'm an English major in college, and you know, how we had to read the short stories, and if you read about a character's home, you would look for the symbolism in the paragraphs. Do
Mhm.
that for your own space. Look for the symbolism in your own space. Is it supporting what you're wanting? And then the last one would be to really find ways to appreciate your space. Some people are like, I hate my house. I hate it. I hate it. And they're just so focused on the frustrations there that they are staying stuck in that vibration rather than, okay, you know what? I've got a roof over my head. You know what? I've got awesome neighbors. I've got a great view. I've got this. And what that does, it starts to free some energy up in you and your space so that you can manifest the next place if that's what you want, or just get into a different energy um, experience so
Mhm.
that you can have a different energy experience in your life. So I'm really a big believer on, make peace with where you are in
Mhm.
order to create what you want. So,
I love that, Katie, because I talk to my clients a lot about where we get started is to be accepting of what is,
yeah,
then
exactly.
move forward, right?
Yes.
If we're stuck on like resistance, then what
Yep.
happens? Nothing, or we're just staying in that, I'll call it negative energy for lack of a better word. So I totally love that acceptance of what is idea, and how do I focus on the joy or something that
Yeah.
I like better, and so then we can move forward. You just have to start with that. And
Mm-hmm.
your point about the symbolism, gosh, I feel like I could give a million examples that you've shared with me, but something really powerful that you had me do is talk about things out loud that I had in my home that I thought I actually liked. And I was like, when I started telling the story, I was like, oh, that's a little bit depressing. I didn't even realize this point. You think of that. So, and you were yeah, I think you laughed similarly that when I was telling you the story, because you knew I was picking up on the fact that like, oh, this means maybe I should get rid of this. And once I did, I realized like, okay, again, a little energy shift here or there. But
Yeah.
to your point, they don't even have to be really big changes that you make.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that it could be small things too to start off with.
Mm-hmm.
So well, thank you so much for sharing all this, Katie. It's so helpful. And you just, I love your energy and connecting with you always. So I appreciate you taking the time today. If anyone wants to get a hold of you, can you tell us, I should say, how they
Yes.
do that?
I have a website, Katie Rogers Feng Shui. So it's KATIE ROGERS, and then Feng Shui is spelled FENGSHUI. I feel like I have to spell it because it's Chinese. And people can email me there. Um, I'm on Instagram, Katie Feng Shui. I have a Facebook page, Katie Rogers Feng Shui. So
Awesome.
I would love to hear from anybody. I've got a newsletter I send out, sometimes once a week, sometimes once a month. So yeah, I'm pretty active out in the world, and I'd love to hear from anybody. And yeah, I've got the e-courses. I've got a lot going on. So, but I love
Thank
this
you.
conversation. It's so fun to talk to you. I
I
love
know.
the mindset aspect of this work is really a piece of it. So
Yes, I know. I feel that every time I talk with you, and that's really why I wanted to interview you and share you with others. So thank you again. And I'll include your information when we post this too, so they'll have that. But
yeah,
that
great.
is it. Thanks,
Thanks,
Katie.
Rosie.
Bye.
Have a great one.
You too.
Ciao.